Hello and welcome to the 17th podcast of the Whispering Dawn podcast. Is there still audio problems?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a test run. Sorry, people. Let me reset and everything here, okay?
User disconnected from your channel. User joined your channel.
Okay, is there problems now? Okay.
Yep, all good.
User in your channel started recording.
Children of the land, can you hear echoes of truths that once rang clear? Two souls intertwined, one true love they did find, bringing land and heavens near. The flames of rainbow bright sing from memories dimmed by shattered hearts. In the rapture gloom, in way they love us more. Legend has their words to
Hello?
Hello?
Can we hear me? Okay. Audio problems, okay. I can edit this, but not live. Anyway, welcome everybody to the Whispering Dawn podcast. My name is Kasumi Rylith, and today we are joined by Liz Tyrannus
Hello.
and Sierra Faye. As usual, you can find us on Twitter at whispering_dawn. You can email us at thewhisperingdawn@gmail.com. You can see us live every Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv Whispering Dawn. And today we're coming from a beautiful location that Sarah actually picked out. Where were we at, Sarah? The reason we're coming from her location is because I've had. Okay, that was weird. I got this notification on my thing. I upgraded to Windows 10, so that's probably why like a lot of this thing's not working properly at the moment. But anyway, the reason that we do that is I can't get into my copy of the game because my phone kind of decided to. I don't know what happened. I didn't drop it or anything, and I just looked over at the table when I was working and seen my cell phone had cracks in the screen. I'm like, okay, what happened to this? So I turned it on and the LED screen bled. So I can't even get into my phone at the moment. I know. And I went to, try to get a new phone on yesterday. And they're like, yeah, you have insurance, but it's going to cost you $167, which is not bad considering cell phones, but considering I didn't have the money at the time. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
And my game is protected by the one-time code, so yeah.
Of course.
I did that because when I started live streaming, I didn't want get hacked, and then all of a sudden people got into my account and everything. So
Yeah, I
But,
still never got a one-time token.
yeah, they're good most days. It's just times like this they're kind of a pain.
Yeah.
Is that the Theverian Bustier there?
It is.
Nifty.
I love it.
So what has everybody been doing in game?
Honestly, I have not been spending too much time in game other than capping esoterics now. And I plan to get my I200 weapon early next week, so I'm excited for that. Otherwise, I've been playing some Dungeon Defenders too.
How is that game?
It's interesting. It's a nice sequel to the original, but it's still got a lot of stuff to iron out.
Yeah, I really love the original, so I always wanted to check out the second one. I just haven't had the chance yet.
Yeah, I just hit I said 170 myself in game, and like everybody's telling me, well, you're gonna, if you get all the log error, you should cap out at 170 to be able to do Alexander. However, I'm at 170, and I still got, I think, 4 pieces to get to complete my law set.
Huh.
I honestly think Alexander isn't too bad as long as you've got the weapon for it.
I did just get my weapon, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get into the game for a while.
Yeah, that sucks so bad.
Yeah.
As I explained earlier, you can watch us live on twitch.tv/whisperingdawn. Well, not dot. There's a slash in there. And we're going to start doing some cool stuff here with the Twitch channel. We should be getting the overlays and everything within the next couple weeks, I think Gareth said. So that'll be exciting. And actually, I'm going to start doing some stuff live, some live streaming here. I know I kind of brushed with it a couple weeks ago with doing a run through of Last of Us, which I'm going to start continuing back up on Tuesdays. And has anybody ever played a game called Guild of Dungeoneering?
It doesn't sound familiar.
It is a very fun game, and I think I'm gonna start streaming that here on our channel. So
Awesome. I will definitely watch that.
Yeah, I'd be interested. I had never even heard of that before.
yeah, it's basically like a card game. You go into like a dungeon, and it's scribbled on like sketch paper, and you play a
Hmm.
card, and um, it sketches out more of the layout of the dungeon, and you put monsters in there. You don't control the person at all. The person goes wherever the treasure lies, and yeah, it's actually really fun.
It sounds really interesting.
Yeah, it sounds like something I would really like. I'm always into the card combat type games.
Here we go. We're a Final Fantasy podcast, and we're talking about other games here. All right.
Whoops.
Okay, so actually, let me pull this up. What the heck? Okay, we got some news here. On August 26th, a brand new soundtrack will be released titled Before the Fall, Final Fantasy XIV original soundtrack, which is going to be jam-packed with amazing music from patch 2.2 through 2.55. And guess what comes in that soundtrack?
Yeah.
I'm going to be getting the soundtrack only because the Primogs. They do, and when they were um reach for comment, they said, "We are the Primogs. We play Moogle songs." And what's your mixed feelings?
Yeah, I didn't think they were actually that bad. The Moogle quests.
I didn't think they were that bad either.
Yeah.
I think for me, for the Churning Mist, the problem wasn't the Moogles or the quest. It was just the layout of the land. Just so many hills and stuff like that. You think, okay, I can get up there, and then you find out you can't. And you have to take the long run. Yeah, I was getting more frustrated with the layout of the land than I was the Moogles, and I think that's what a lot of people's problems were. Except they just took it out on the poor little Moogles. Well, it's no different than what any other NPC in the games have had you do.
Yeah, I mean, people complain about the quest specifically where you need to find the Moogles and they hide them in the, like, whatever crevices you wouldn't think to look in. But even before before Heaven's Word, there were annoying quests like that where you had to find NPCs. It's just, yeah.
Well, the one thing interesting about this minion, though, is it's not just one minion node; it's a whole quintet that will follow you around. Well, we'll find out, won't we?
I
And
really
then,
like how they word it too. Like they'll play for you for eternity. Like once you release them, you can't escape them.
yeah, but however, one of the Moogles in there doesn't have an instrument, and he's actually the conductor of the band. And from what they also shown on there is that he was actually directing some of the other Moogles too. That's not part of the quintet. Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
So I wonder if that's going to be part of the whole thing. Because that would be very interesting if the other Moogles actually get in line with the conductor as well.
I mean, they do mention you can have a Moogle party with the other minions or whatever. So that
I don't know. Yeah, because I'm gonna get it, and um, are they? They're very cute. Now, do we think that this minion was released as a satire due to the upset about the request in the Turning Mist?
I would not put it past them. Especially right after they came out and said just before, maybe we went a little too crazy with the Moogle quests. This is what they're giving us now. Moogles that follow us around forever.
At least you don't have to find them.
Yeah.
Also, in game, the the Before a Friend campaign stuff has dropped into the game. Anybody get this stuff?
No, but I know somebody did.
Yep, I got my Twintenium out. I just started dive bombing people. Like when I first got it, I was like dive bombing people. I'm like, grah! Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, I mean, how do they look? I mean, I've never done the corals, so do they look like almost like the Titania or?
Yeah, it's just a little bit smaller, that's it.
I like, unlike some of the places where I frequent and everything. There's like pictures of people like logging into the game, like seeing the Titanium going PTSD. um, did anybody at least get the new emotes? The fist bump.
I'm sorry to say I have not gotten that.
Ah. Once you get like one friend referred, you should be getting it. It's in like a little book type thing, along with like 5 gold chocobo feathers. That's what a lot of people have been doing. Actually, they've been going up to a lot of the new leaves and being like, here's a code. Put this in. You get a 5% whatever XP circling. Yeah. So I don't know if it works or not, but I know there's reports of people getting pestered in game to use codes, and people on like at least the Facebook group that a lot of us met on, that were just starting to spam the thing, asking people, go on codes, here's codes, I want them out. Yeah, it's it's a nice reward for people. Like, I wasn't even expecting him to mount because I didn't think my friend stuck around very often, but I guess he did. So here I am with the 2-ton mount. It was. I seen like 3 emails. I'm like, what the heck is this? And I opened them up and I'm like, that's 15 gold. And I'm like spamming everybody. Where do I turn these in at? Where do I turn these in at? Just in case you don't know, it's at the Calamity Salvager person is where you turn them into. And yeah, I turned them in, and I'm like, they also got a chocobo you can get too. I don't. Yeah, I for like 8 gold chocobo feathers, and I don't know what it is, but yeah, there's one there too. But when I have
Isn't it
15, go ahead.
a 2-person chocobo?
I don't know. Like, I'm not even in game right now to be able to check. So,
I was trying to do a quick search and see if I can find something.
oh, okay. But yeah, but I had 8 gold chocobo feathers and Trintonia mounts 15, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting my Trintonia mount. Everybody else has got it in game. I'm gonna get mine. And then I was trying to look for the fist bump because I thought it was in my emails already. Because like every other emote, I thought okay, it's right in our emotes. No, they give you a little book that you have to like click on and use to be able to get it. So oh, okay. Now if I can only get 8 more, I can go get that then. Okay. And I didn't know they had like a derpy derp walk. And truthfully, when I get on my Trintonia mount, I start flying. I don't start walking with it. Sorry. But this was a nice, cool thing from Square Enix to do, and it's already turned into almost a status thing where everybody's like, "How do I get that? Here's my code. Everybody, let's be annoying with this." hmm And not only that is a lot of people were just getting the two. At least when the before Friend Thing came out, they were just buying people 2 months free of the thing and being okay. Now here's my code. Here's 2 months free. Thank you for the mount, and then moved on. But this also raises another different question because I've seen already posts about this. People actually buying 3 copies of the game and registering them and everything.
Yeah, that's a little extreme.
It is. I don't know why people are actually doing that. Yeah, it's. I guess what they're doing is they're getting like the base game for 2.0 for cheap somewhere, getting 3 copies of that, and then opening up the accounts and putting in the codes, and I don't know. Just sounds like too much work. No, because when the refer a friend thing happens, like the first time that they put the code in, you automatically get 5 free or 5 gold feathers. So if you buy 3 copies of the game, put your code in for each of the thing, you get 15 gold feathers, and you get the Tritania mount. So I have yet to do the fist bump to anybody. I did do the motions like to like empty air, but I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Okay, I will. Um, which brings me to something that happened this week to me, and I know everybody here knows what I'm talking about. I'm probably going to be end up switching servers by the end of the month.
Yeah.
And that's because I'm just getting tired of idiots in game. Like, and it's not like. And let me rephrase that. I'm getting tired of trolls in game. It's okay to have a nice open discussion, but once one person of that discussion goes, and this is what happened. When one person of the discussion goes, I do not want to continue this discussion. Discussion should have ended. And then you keep on going, and it made me not want to play the game that night. So much so that I quit the dungeon I was in without telling the people that I was in the dungeon with that I was leaving. Just quit the dungeon and turned off my game. Because and I know it was a troll because after I said, thank you, you ruined my nights and everything, he's like, good.
Well, I mean, that's what trolls do. They just go to get a rise out of people. They want to get a reaction.
So I love Sargentana's server, but I think pretty shortly I'm probably going to be transferring over to Goblin to be with Aerith. Well, a lot of my friends and everything are on Sargentana, so I didn't want to just abandon them. Plus, I don't want to start over. Like, my whole thing is I have trouble making Gil as it is, and I just have 300,000 Gil. But at the time when I was thinking about moving servers, I didn't, and I'm like, okay, if I move somewhere else, I'm gonna have to buy a room in the free company house. That's 300,000. I don't have that kind of money. But now I'm becoming more and more agitated on the server I'm at, and it's like, for my sake and my future love of this game, do I just grit and bear it, or do I just move on to a different server where it's going to be friendly and everything? And I posted.
I'll say from my sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'll just say from my experience switching servers, it's not the same servers, but I used to be on a Marlboro server, and back then I just kind of liked the game because, like, I don't know, a big part of the reason why I play this game is the community. And once I switched over to Fairy, just because some of my friends playing on that server left, I just noticed the community was so much better on this server than the one I was previously on, or at least my experience with that community was. I don't want to speak for an entire server. But it just made my appreciation for this game and my like willingness to like want to play just go way up. It's a whole different experience. So I would say if you did, then Switch.
Well, after I posted something on Twitter about me leaving and going to Goblin, and like some of the people on there was like awesome. They're like, "Yay, a new Goblin host! Yay!" So yeah, I'm considering it. Like I said, I'm not liking like I like my free company, the Dawnbreakers. Shout out to you guys, but I'm just it's just getting frustrating for me to play when I'm having all these problems, and I don't know if it's just me or if it's just other people, but I think I'm just gonna take myself out of the equation, go to a different server, and start over. This is true. But the other thing I wanted to talk to our listeners about is following us on Twitter. We are 11 followers shy of 100. Go us, yay! But the main reason you might want to follow is because we do throw out some contests here and there. And last week, I thought I came up with a clever enough podcast name, episode name, with the one I chose last week, that nobody would get the reference. So proud was I of this fact that I decided to go to Twitter and hold a contest for Minion. First person to tell me where this reference is and everything, only to have my illusion shattered not even 15 minutes later. But yeah, at Goopfella like got hit not even like 15 minutes later. He's like Scooby Doo meets the Globetrotters, which is close enough. The last episode name was a reference of the old Scooby Doo cartoons where Scooby Doo meets blank celebrity of the week, and I thought it was clever enough that nobody was going to get it, but like I'm really glad that my reference level is on the same as a lot of other people that follow us and listen to us. So thank you for making me feel happy that people got my reference. And he did post that he got his Yishtula minion, which I happily bought for him. So, I mean, that's one reason to follow us on Twitter, is because we just announce contests willy nilly like that. It was. And, yeah, I can't believe that somebody got it, like, almost right away. I'm like, gosh darn it. Because remember, I was telling you all, nobody's gonna get this. I want to see how long I can last and so many guesses I can get. Yeah. But, Lil, you said once I told you the answer, you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Never underestimate people's nostalgia for cartoons. That's why.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what made me think about that. I'm like, I gotta come up with some clever name for this episode. Here we go. There we go. Okay, let's see. And then when I posted, I'm like, I don't like this name, but I'm gonna go with it. I'm like, oh my god, the reference level is like so high right now. I was just so proud of that one. I do want to take a time out here real quick before we get into our next segment here, and that's to thank our listeners. I know we've done this in the past, but we've got 5 episodes now, not including the two that we had before, or including the two we had before, that have over 100 listens now. So thank you.
Thank you.
And it is, and our like actually our biggest like listened episode is the one we did with Nell. So we need to get her back on because her episode. Hopefully she's listening and kind of gleaming at the moment, but her episode is our most listened to at the moment, and it's just that kind of. Actually, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 episodes now. With one almost, which is, and one of our episodes is almost end away, so it would be 7. So yeah, that is exciting. And a lot of them are our pre-Heaven's Word podcasts.
Yeah, we're getting up there pretty quickly.
However, I do want to take time out to real worldwide. Do you understand this? Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Yeah, they have like I'm a numbers type of person. I like looking at numbers and seeing, okay, what did we do right, what did we do wrong, because the listeners kind of tell us what we're doing right and what we're kind of doing wrong with how many listens and everything like that. But I decided to check and see where are everybody listening from, and right now San Domingo is our top city, which is amazing.
I was really surprised at that, but it makes more sense with Aerith's family being there.
Yeah, and I don't know, Guayaquil, Guayas. I'm sorry if I butchered that, but that's another place it's in our top city. So I don't even know where that's at.
I honestly don't either, but that's really cool.
And then Saint John, New Brunswick. Yeah, a lot of this is like awesome. Like in our top countries, our 5th top country right now is Norway.
Wow.
I've expected that, but that's awesome.
So yeah, we do thank you for listening to us, and I know, the game is worldwide and everything, but I didn't think that we were going to be listened to like this much, and I do thank everybody for listening. And it's unexpected, and I really love it. So keep listening, keep getting other people to listen, and you never know, we might be the next best thing in Final Fantasy 14 podcasting.
Hopefully, one day soonish.
Our YouTube account, which I'm going to plug that for a second here. Yes, we've been neglecting it the last couple weeks. I'm hopefully to have a massive update to our YouTube. Spending the last couple episodes unedited on there. Plus, I'm going, as soon as I can get logged back into the game, I'm going to do an astrologian guide, because I think I'm doing pretty good as an astrologian. My heals are pretty much up there, and I'm getting like all the patterns down and everything. So I just want to put that out there so people have, some kind of idea what to do with an astrologian.
That would be really neat, actually.
Well, I'm sorry, astrologian is the correct pronunciation there.
I know a few healers who really want to get into it just because, I don't know, they want something new, so that would be cool to point them to.
Yeah, it's something I've been looking forward to, and like I said, we're gonna have our Twitch overlays here at some point, and I'd like to get everybody on the schedule to stream and get to know our listeners more and build up more listeners. Yeah, one dream at a time.
One at a time. It is really cool to interact with them. I don't know how many weekends ago that I was here last, but I know we had some people talking to us. One from England.
And I'm talking to him now on email. I'm about to email him back about being another backup host. So yeah. The other thing is, people email us. We want to hear your emails.
We love reading emails.
And Ronan, if you're still listening, please email us. We're going through withdrawal.
Withdrawals. Ronan withdrawals.
Okay, we're just gonna segue into our next segment here. I'm gonna get some music and everything, because I think I'm gonna make this a permanent thing on our show, and I think I'm gonna call this segment "This Eorzean Life." And the reason I want to call it that is because I want to spotlight stuff in the game that's either lore-wise or community-wise is a strong indicator, a strong positive thing for the community. I think that's a good name for it, right?
I like that name. It fits.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna do some lore type thingies on all our podcasts from now on, I guess. Let's talk about let's start this segment off with one of everybody's greatest quest lines and everybody's favorites, and I mean Hildenbrand.
Yay. Honestly, I am kind of awful at retaining lore, but Hildebrand was so funny. Stupid funny.
I know, like it. I loved him. His reactions to everything and the Mandeville was very funny.
Yep. And his facial expressions. That storyline is too much.
It also introduced some of the best fights, or at least the most entertaining fights, with Gilgamesh.
That is true.
Maybe not the best mechanically, but I certainly enjoyed myself.
That's true. Those fights are super entertaining.
Now, like, I'm not too sure, like, the quest line, because I haven't really finished it. Yeah, I know. I'm missing out.
No comments.
Yeah. But I like the fact that when you first see like his assistant Nashu, I'm not even gonna pronounce it. Not even gonna attempt that last name there. Is at his grave just I don't know, crying over him.
I don't get, it's been so long. But I do remember that, and I was pretty confused at first.
Yeah, she's investigating rumors regarding unusual zombie behavior. She's been waiting 5 years for her mentor to return, and she's devastated by the revelation that Inspector Hilbrand did not survive his journey to Delamond. And she swore to uphold his legacy as inspector herself and live up to his example. And this is where you finally meet him, and yeah, the dapper zombies.
They
Which I thought
are
was
quite
cool.
dapper.
Yep. And after her plan works and everything, Hildenbrand finally appears and everything, and it's actually an incredibly funny scene.
It is, and I think there's one point where his head is stuck in the sand and he's just kicking.
Yeah. And she like goes to resolve his lost memories by use of explosives.
Oh, I do remember that.
But yeah, I love like I haven't got that far into the Hildenbrand stuff, so I'm sorry. But from what I've seen so far, it's amazing.
Use the humor as motivation.
All I remember is like after his line like ends and everything, you get the was that the gentleman pose or whatever?
Yeah, you get, I think it's the gentleman pose or the Hildebrand pose or something like that. And then the little
Yeah, I
minion
love
and
that
the
emote.
outfit.
I'm sorry, outfit.
Yep, there's the outfit, and then there's a little minion that you also get, I think, all at the same time.
You get a little minion.
You get a little minion of him, and I think he does that pose every once in a while, and Nashu, like, pops out from behind him.
Arrgh, I gotta do this. I gotta get
It
this
is,
ending.
it's great. And then the outfit, and you're just like a little Hildebrand.
And don't you get like the what is it? The title like gentlewoman or gentleman or whatever.
I think so. I'm not a big title person, but I'm pretty sure that's where that comes from.
It is definitely really like I wish I could get into more of this because Hildenbrand was actually a really cool thing, and I like the fact that like the entire time he's just bumbling about, like trying to solve these capers, and you're the one that's solving them for him.
I really just like that there's this game, and it's an amazing game, and it has good content and all this, but then there's that part of it that you just do just for fun, because why not? Instead of being super serious.
I like when we meet his dad for the first time. Like he comes just sprinting out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden you like do the Mandeville dance, and
Mostly naked.
yes. And then on some of the Christmas, like I think it was like last year's Christmas quest, like he was like the Santa or whatever.
I don't remember that. I wish I did, but
Yeah, it was funny. Because I just remembered my one of my friends in games like, you gotta do the quest for the Christmas event because you never know. Guess who is the person in it? And I'm like, okay. And I played it. And I'm like, yes.
that is awesome.
Um, Speaking of lore, where do we think the story's heading?
Like the main storyline?
Yeah.
Uh. um, I don't know. I'm kind of scared that it's not going to go anywhere good.
Like, I know you haven't been on here for a while, but I did finally finish the main storyline quest, so.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
Wait, though you were here that episode when we were talking about it.
Oh yeah.
I am kind of scared that it's gonna. That last cutscene was pretty scary to me, but I am hopeful that we'll find like a scion per patch, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of, too.
I don't know how to feel about that ending cutscene.
Like, the ending cutscene, I don't know what to make of, but I know we kind of got into this in depth last episode. I don't know if you listened to it at all yet,
I've not.
but a couple of us have like major issues on like some of the storyline decisions. This decision to bring back the Santana, yes, it's glad to have her back, but to have her still be alive and to bring Ishtula back kind of dampens like a lot of the mood that 2.55 set, at least to me.
Yeah, it takes out the emotional punch that it sort of had.
I can definitely see that. I think for me, um, even though Raubon came back too, but still the fact that he's missing his arm is for some reason like hit me really hard, and I feel like that still puts that's still like a super emotional thing, even though the Sultana is alive. But then there's still the question of the rest of the Scions. I mean, yeah, Y'shtola is back, but there's still like what 4 or 5 others that we're missing, and we have no idea if they're okay or not.
They're okay. I can tell
Well,
you that right now.
well, and whether they're alive or not, but I mean, Y'shtola came back and her eyes are different, and she just isn't the same, quite the same. So I'm kind of worried that the rest of them are going to be changed in some way too.
Yeah, I can see that. But at the same time, I don't know, because if she would have survived, she would have had. What's his name? She was with Thancred, right? In the end
Uh,
there?
yeah.
Wouldn't be she able to take him with her?
Uh, I'm not. I'm not sure. I don't think, at least in the cutscene that we last saw them in, he wasn't really anywhere near her because he was protecting her for whatever she was doing. But uh, I don't know. That spell looked big enough to pull them both in, but maybe not.
Yeah, I just have. There's just. I don't know. They could have left the whole Santana and just Tula thing for a couple more patches, I think.
Yeah, I agree. It kind of was a lot to bring back, and the fact that you save Raubon, all 3 of them being okay is like, oh, all right. Well, there's half the people that we were worried about.
And then the whole thing with Merlib and everything, just, yo, we knew about the Sultana's plans. Then why didn't you say anything at the freaking party? Instead of going, oh, we can't do anything, we're gonna go.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I have some mixed feelings on that too.
It's like the writers at the end of 2.55 did not collaborate with the writers for 3.0. We're gonna end this on this right here, and okay. Yeah, we were explaining some of this stuff away, and that ending cutscene on 2.55 where, the Lala is talking to the former handmaiden, and all of a sudden she runs from the castle to go live in the village. It makes no sense. Because it wouldn't that clue people into like something's happening if like the handmaiden of the Sultana like runs away from the castle and is trying to say, I just want a peaceful life in here. Wouldn't that raise flags?
It would, and I'm also not sure how she got away. I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of people know who she is and what she looks like, and I don't know how she wasn't stopped or questioned before this. I'm not really sure.
I mean, it's like, okay, this person just fled from the castle and saying that she wants a quiet life here. What happened at the castle too? Nah, it's none of our business. We're just gonna go among our daily lives here.
Yeah, pretty much.
But on the Heaven's Word, like side quest, like not from the main storyline quest.
Uh, that's a tough question.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I like the quest where I got my stuffed baby chocobo for my house.
Oh, there's a quest for that.
There is at Tail Feather, I want to say, from the guy in the inn that plays Triple Triad. I think he gives it to you, or maybe someone behind the stables. I'm not sure which.
I'm gonna have to try to find these quests because it seems like there's a lot of quests I missed, even though I thought I got them all.
Yeah, that's how I ended up going back once I finished the storyline. I ended up going back to each area just because I had noticed while I was doing quests that more side quests unlocked at some point. And I think that's where I found those at.
Okay.
Yeah, my favorite side quest going along that line is probably the one that made it so my company chocobo, my chocobo companion could fly. Because I find that no matter what fancy mounts I get, I always default to that chocobo.
I liked that quest because of the name. That was about it.
Wait, what
haven't-
was the name?
I'm pretty sure it was I Believe I Can Fly.
Yeah.
It was. I still haven't
That
done that
too,
quest, so my company Chocobo still cannot fly. But yeah, the quest the storyline that I got, I loved, and was the one that you get in Idleshire with the two refugees from Malta. That was an incredible storyline.
Yeah, I do remember doing that one.
I
Although,
forget their name. I think it was like a Roe and a Lalafell were trying to find somewhere to go, and they seen the goblins, and they're like, "Can't trust goblins." And then at the end of the storyline, spoilers, they trust the goblins and they want to stay there. I thought that was an incredible storyline.
It was. I ended up skimming at that point. I was like, I'm so done with these side quests, but that caught my attention.
Yeah, I've never like a lot of these people I'd never seen before, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But yeah, I was starting to do that too until that quest caught my eye. I'm like, wait, what? This is awesome.
With the feels.
Yeah, especially when they're like trying to chase down the goblin because they think he's going to kill somebody, and it turns out he was just giving a massage to somebody, and they give one to them, and you're like, oh my god, this is the best massage I've ever had. And that's when they started adjusting the goblins, and I thought it was awesome. And just the fact that they, all the goblins and everybody like even chased out the debt collector or whatever, the person that they owed. It was
Yeah,
was powerful.
it really was.
So yeah, I think that's my favorite. Even though, like I said, I was at the point where I was just gotta get these quests done because I'm so close to 60, so close to finishing the main storyline quest. Gotta get to 659 so I can continue. And then that just pops up. I'm like, wait, what? This is awesome.
I do have to say that one of the side quests I like a lot, although it's the Alexander one, just the cutscenes of the Alexander quests are they're really nice, and the characters are adorable.
I'm going to be doing that soon, as soon as I can get back into the game. So
Awesome. You're gonna think I think you're gonna love it.
I think I am too. But um, yeah, that's my favorite cutscene and everything. And I was going to try to bring something else up, but I kind of forgot. So hmm. Oh yeah, Twitter. We did have some good Twitter responses and stuff this week, so I thought I'd bring some of those up and everything. Last week we announced the winner of the 60-minute time card or 60-day time card. It's become such a meme that I'm just going to continue it at this
You
point.
just have to. People will
Yeah.
understand.
Might as well.
He won, and I'm like, okay, hey dude, you won this. Can I get your email and everything? And this is what he wrote. This is from at DexBoost on Twitter. At Whispering Dawn, I'm lagging behind on podcasts, and I just heard my name called out on the show. Whoop whoop. Yep, when we have the contests that we do on Twitter, if you win, we're gonna basically say your name out on the podcast here. Even if you like just tweet us, we will actually say your name and everything. Especially if we love it and read it on the air. So not only that is we actually got a follower named by the name of @Flatus. And he's like, hey friends, let's get At Whispering Dawn to 100 followers. If you like Final Fantasy, show some support. So that's awesome.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, that's really nice.
We were followed by some Final Fantasy 14 podcasts though, and I've never heard of some of these shows. Like Gather Together.
I've never heard of that, but I think that's kind of funny if they're based off the auto translate.
Really?
Yeah.
There's an auto translate that I think a lot of healers use. It's gather together, protect, and stone skin or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never heard of them before. I did catch the podcast, and they're actually pretty decent. So if you're looking for another Final Fantasy 14 podcast, check them out because they're actually not that bad. I think they're on episode 18 at the moment.
I'll have to go check them out.
Yeah,
And then,
me
like,
too.
um, so they followed us, and we're like, okay, I think I'll give them a shout out. I did listen to one of their episodes, and like I said, they were pretty good. So
Well, that's awesome if we can end up helping each other out since we both seem like we're pretty new still.
mhm. They seem to start at the same time we did, so that's awesome. We're just lower on our counts of episodes because we had a couple episodes that we didn't air because of technical difficulties.
Yeah, that is true.
But yeah, I got an amazing story about the whole 60 hour time card thing. I went into Escalia's podcast or stream the other day, and he mentioned somebody who came in and was watching. I think it was Samus Rageborn. And I'm like, what? Nothing for me or something? I think I put a sad face or anything. He's like, I can't forget. And Kooky Persona wrote stuff on our podcast, and she's like, and they just gave away a 60 hour time card, or I mean 60. I'm like, oh my god.
That is awesome.
I love when people who actually listen to the show like can banter about that, and I think we should have a 60 hour time card shirt.
We definitely should.
That's
Yeah,
another
good
thing.
idea.
We do have a Redbubble account, people. If you didn't know, it's redbubble.com/people/whispering dawn, I believe. I wish there was some way I can just like, do something shorter than that, but we're gonna have some designs going in there. Hopefully by the end of the month, we'll see. But right now, the designs we have is just our basic logo, which is going to change here because we're getting an updated one with all the new icons for the new classes. So that's going to be awesome.
I'm excited for that.
I am too. Yeah, listen to us live on Twitch every Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. Oh, okay. So last week we had Secrets Break 14 on our podcast. Guess what? Who's going to be on their next show?
Us?
Yep.
Whoa!
Hooray!
So yeah, check out their next episode, which we're going to be on it. I think we're talking about crafting, which I have no idea what we're about. So
Oh, my screen just went white. That's a nice view.
some reason I got Infinity tabs just opened up on me.
Oh. That's, it's always nice when that happens.
Windows 10 strikes again.
I'm excited
Did
for my
anybody
Windows
else like
10.
update to Windows 10?
I will be, but I haven't gotten my message yet.
I like to think I updated to a Mac.
Like I didn't have the message at all like until I like clicked on the notification and like I don't know what I pushed and all of a sudden my notification showed up and I'm like, okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I checked the other day and it said it was supposed to be coming, but maybe I'll have to check again.
Yeah, I probably would just maybe there's something you need to push or something to get the notification. I like it so far. Like everybody was saying that there was some problems with Final Fantasy 14 running on Windows 10. I had some issues at the beginning, but now there's no issues at all. So it runs Final Fantasy 14 perfectly.
Yeah, I think I saw a thread somewhere about um, people waiting to get Windows 10 until they heard from Square Enix that 14 would be okay. But I think there were some people that were testing Windows 10 or just got it a lot earlier, and they actually said they thought it ran just fine, and if anything, their FPS was actually better for some reason. So,
I haven't checked my FPS yet, so I'll have to look at that.
yeah, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, especially when I can get into Game Next, which is going to be for a while.
Ugh, yeah.
The one problem with having a one-time key.
Yeah, it's nice until, your phone breaks.
But I think we adequately talked about everything that we wanted to. It was a slow week for news, um, and a lot of the stuff that we want to talk about, eh. So I mean, Heaven's Board is an amazing thing. I really do love the new areas and everything.
There's one thing I want to say about the final cutscene
Okay, go ahead.
of main storyline, so spoilers, I guess. um, the, I guess the Warrior of Darkness, um, looks just like the Midlander that has been in like all the scenes or the movies or whatever at the beginning of the game. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
The one that everybody has affectionately called Derplander.
Yes, Derplander. It looked just like him with the being a Midlander and the hair color and the hairstyle. And I am gonna be super sad if it turns out to be him because for me, it's like he's been on this journey and we've kind of gone on it with him at the same time. So like as he's experienced things, so have we. And now I'm gonna feel like I feel super betrayed if that's him. Not saying it is, but I don't know. I'm gonna feel really betrayed and let down.
I think it will be him only because there's other Warriors of Light, and if one of us can, okay, what I sorry, I just got another message from Windows 10 for some reason saying blah 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 has stopped working and has now been recovered.
Oh,
Okay.
great.
Okay, okay, whatever. But there are other Warriors of Light from what they say in the storyline. So I don't think it's within with. I think it's within the realm of possibility that some of them would turn to the Asians for more power.
Yeah, I actually go more with the theory that he's just basically put there as a placeholder for the player character, like whatever your character is, and I'm hoping at least that they make it sort of a mirror fight, like he's a dark mirror image created of you and your job. So eventually it might be a solo fight or even an 8 versus 8 reflection fight would be really cool, where you fight against your job to see, if you can really master the skills of your job. They had something like that in 11, I believe.
Yeah, right. But Yeah, that final cutscene was actually pretty good. But again, all their final cutscenes have been really good. That's true. I love the cutscenes and some of the side quests because it's actually pretty good. Like if you're going through, and this is what I've noticed, the ones with the pictures are the ones that are going to have the cutscenes and have a good storyline. The ones that don't have the pictures, when you go up to click on the person and everything, you can probably just skim through. But it's looking pretty foggy out, so so we're actually going to be closing this out because we got a lot talked about, and we're not a 3-hour show, so um, as usual, I'm not going to be the one that gives the final word around here. My colleagues here are going to take us out, but before I go, I just want to remind you to follow us on Twitter. You never know when we are going to just hold unexpected contests for no apparent reason because the host decides that she likes a really good reference and doesn't think anybody's going to get it, but they get it within 15 minutes.
How dare you?
um, follow us on twitch.tv or I don't know why I keep saying dot there, but we are live every Sunday at twitch.tv Whispering Dawn. We have a YouTube channel, Whispering Dawn. You can email us. Please email us. We're getting kind of lonely with no emails at the moment. thewhisperingdawn@gmail.com. You can follow us on iTunes. And when you follow us on iTunes, don't forget to leave us a review, a 5-star review, saying how much you love the show and how much the people of this cast have changed their lives and all the fun little live stuff that you have to do there.
We're inspiring.
Only
Inspiring the next
5-star
generation.
reviews.
But yeah, just give us a review. The more reviews we can actually get, the higher on iTunes we can get out there, and we can reach more people, which is awesome. Especially when we've got so many people listening to us on our iTunes right now. Thank you, everybody. Thanks to all the listeners, everybody who's watched us live here tonight. Uh, yes, Aldrich, you are late. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
We start at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Sorry. um, but yeah, you can follow us on Twitch.tv Whispering Dawn. We got a Facebook account which we have to start doing something with because we got some followers on it. So yeah, we have to start doing stuff with that. It's Facebook.com Whispering Dawn. Was it like on Facebook or follow? Yeah, so we know more, so we can get more followers on there, and we can start doing some awesome stuff on there. Like maybe hold a contest on there once in a while as well. Follow us on Twitter. We're 11 followers away from 100. It'd be awesome to have 100 people. I'm not going to give a 60-hour time card away for 100 this time because we gave it away at our last show. So I think I plugged everything I could. Buy our shirts at redbubble.com. I think that's about it. Um, I will see everybody next week. And as Bill and Ted once said in their really awesome movie, be excellent to each. I messed that one up, didn't I? be, be excellent towards each other.
Thanks for listening. See you next week.
Yeah, thanks everyone for listening. See you next week.